Desirae.
Hello.
There's a lot of things going on in the circles that kind of intersect with GAP Ministries and your experience. So you were a foster child yourself originally.
Yes, I was. I had that experience. I had a wonderful family that raised me, and I am still very good friends with my foster family. With my adoptive parents and with my foster parents, they're friends with each other. They've met my husband. My foster parents have met my husband. They are Facebook friends with us. We call each other at least once a year. Graduations, weddings.
Gotcha.
I grew up hearing a lot about like what foster kids could and couldn't do, like how many of us graduated from high school and how many of us didn't graduate from college. So I kind of made it a mission that one day if I had kids and if I had grandkids, I wanted them to be like, wow, she did that. I wanted them to look at their family history and be like, whoa. And so I kind of went on this like one woman crusade, and I went off and I learned the things, and I went to the school and I did international health projects, and I ran my own nonprofit, and I did all of those things.
So it's the idea of pushing past the stats that are kind of thrown at you.
Yeah.
And making your own individual change so you don't become a stat.
Yeah, absolutely. When it came time to be a parent and get married to my spouse, I told him, like, I really like you. This was on like date 3, and I was like, I really like you, but fostering is going to be in the future, so I need you either to get on board on date 3 or we need to move on. I'm going to ask you to foster in the same way that I foster, and that is for a unification of families so that we can keep family units whole, even if they are not in our own. And then if we're called to be the family, we can be the family. That means that I'm going to ask you to attach to somebody and teach them healthy attachments with a willingness to let go when it's time to give them back, and once their parent is like empowered enough to do that. And so that was always in our plan. When we got married, we were going to foster, but we assumed we were going to foster when we were like 65 and retired, all of the things. And when we started trying to have kids, we realized, joke's on us, we can't.
Oh, wow.
And so we had already bought a house with the assumption that we were going to have babies, and we looked around and I was like, it makes no sense to have an empty house, to have empty halls and not have noise just because we're not where we thought we should be. Why am I waiting? Why am I waiting for that? Like, the Lord will bless me as I move my feet. And so we decided to move our feet, and we asked the question, and to our surprise, we not only like qualified, but we were like in a really good position. What I do here for work is very personal to me because of that background. Right now, my role here is the foster parent recruiter and trainer. And so one of the things I get to do is teach the community about the why, so that they maybe we have an opportunity to destigmatize a little bit.
Sure.
What's going on. Like, for instance, most of us aren't aware that about 85% of the kids in foster care who are in DCS custody are the children of foster kids.
Yep.
Which makes sense, right? If you parent the way that you were parented, and if you weren't parented, or if you were like me, and by the time you were 7 had 32 different caregivers.
Wow.
You might have been parented a lot of inconsistent ways. This is a very common thing. So unless you get the appropriate intervention, even if it's a little bit later, that intervention makes all the difference of kind of interrupting and putting a spoke in that wheel that continues generationally. But a lot of it comes down to understanding and being educated about these things.